Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. I know I don't talk about this subject on this channel very often. I don't expect a lot of people to be interested in it. That's subscribe to this channel because this channel is mostly discussing mobile tech and things like that. But you know what? I wanted to jump on here because this is so major. This is so major. So I'm not gonna go into the full rundown of Elimination Chamber. What up, B-Tech? Only because I guess I'll save that for when me and B-Tech go live on the Deathlock podcast. But what I did want to talk about, though, was that ending. That crazy ending to Elimination Chamber. Fans got what they wanted. A little heel turn change, for John Cena. It's been such a long time seeing John in a heel role, right? I think it was... oh my God, man. It was way back in the day. The last time John was a heel. So it was absolutely insane to see what transpired tonight. That was just crazy. Spoiler alert for those who didn't see Elimination Chamber. So if you don't want to watch, you want to click away, that's fine. It's totally fine. Those that watched it, you guys know what I'm going into. That ending. First of all, shout out to CM Punk for taking a curb stomp, several attitude adjustments. It was crazy. It was sad though. Seth got what he wanted. He got to crush CM Punk's dreams for now. We have to wait what happens when CM Punk calls in that favor from Paul Heyman. So we could be looking at a triple threat match at WrestleMania, and this could very well lead to that because there's history between CM Punk and John Cena. And now that John is on the opposite end, he's the heel in all of this. CM Punk or Cody could be the one that puts him down unless not CM Punk, but John Cena gets a final run as the WWE champion in a heel role, right? Yeah, it's different. This is what everyone wanted. Like, John Cena is giving the fans what they wanted. Remember, he's pointed that out several times. He's pointed out that people wanted him to so desperately change the content of his character, a heel turn, that type of thing, right? He's made that clear. He understands that's what fans wanted. This is his last run in WWE, his retirement. And what better way to go out than to go out as a heel? To some people, it doesn't make sense. To fans who followed him because, he was a face all the time, it doesn't make sense to them. But a lot of avid pro wrestling fans, it makes sense to us. We've wanted to see this type of John Cena for a long time, and we're finally going to get it. And it's like Halley's Comet. So if you don't see this, then you missed out. See, the thing is that there was one other thing that we were robbed of. And it really wasn't, it wasn't the wrestler's fault. It wasn't, I don't know if it was Vince McMahon's fault, but we could have had an epic match of magnitude, right? Like, we had Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior WrestleMania 6. That was epic and huge. Title for title, winner take all. We wanted the Undertaker and Sting. But, we wanted Undertaker and Sting in their prime, and they just couldn't make that happen at all whatsoever. What about the unsanctioned match between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn? Go to the Deathlock podcast when B-Tech and I actually do the entire thing. I am only focused on the biggest news of Elimination Chamber. I'm not going into every match of the night, right? We're not going to talk about Jade Cargill's return and her attack on Naomi. We're not talking about the winners of the Elimination Chamber. We're not talking about, the street fight, unsanctioned match. It's a street fight between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and Randy Orton's return. We're not talking about any of that. That's going to happen on the Deathlock podcast, and I'm going to get with B-Tech on that, on when he wants to do that. Maybe tomorrow if he's available. I don't know. So, yeah, I mean, he's saying sometime this week, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. But John Cena's turn. I really want to talk on this because this was so epic, and I saw it coming. I don't know what it was. I felt it in my gut. The moment that Cody told The Rock to go fuck himself, I was like, and you see John kind of being in the background, kind of doing like what people would have expected him to do, right? To kind of just like stick it to The Rock. But you guys forget something, that John and The Rock, when they've crossed paths, they've had this chemistry between them, right? Like respect to some degree. And I just had this itching feeling like we're not going to get a Cody Rhodes defending his WWE Championship against whoever won the Elimination Chamber as just like a blasé type of thing, a face versus a face, right? This is going to be the test of tests for Cody. Cody's got to overcome the biggest guy. And in any situation, for those who understand pro wrestling, if John doesn't win the championship, it's not a bad move. It's not a bad move for Cody to retain. Now, if Cody loses the title to John and allows John to run as a heel champion for the remainder of 2025 on his retirement tour, and Cody was to overcome John and regain the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, or WWE Championship, I don't want to get people confused. The Undisputed is what they call it now. The Undisputed Championship. If Cody, regains it, it's a passing of the torch. This would be the guy that John passes the torch to, or it could there's so many avenues, and that's one thing I like about the company right now. I'm sorry that my camera is glitching and I've noticed that it kind of flickers. Just bear with me. But there's so many things that can happen. There's so many roads they can take. There's so many roads. One of the roads I think may happen in the future is, I believe that, Cody has done great as WWE Undisputed Champion. I feel like that he is going to drop the belt to John Cena. John Cena is going to break the record at 17 title runs. I feel like that, when John gets into this role and we see his heel persona as champion for the next couple of months, I honestly feel this is the build back to Roman's return. Remember, Roman Reigns is kind of like on the sideline right now, right? Ever since the Royal Rumble. And we do know that it could be a triple threat match at WrestleMania. CM Punk could call in that favor. And all CM Punk wants is to main event WrestleMania. So if they throw him in, if Paul Heyman finesses CM Punk into the WWE Undisputed Championship match, the main event triple threat match would be all the additional fuel needed for John Cena to come up with the heel victory, right? We can't expect John Cena to straight up win honorably like he's always done in his career. We've got to see that sneaky, underhanded, just ending to WrestleMania 41. And I feel that's going to happen. John is going to let CM Punk, he's going to let Cody Rhodes really wear themselves out and just go for the pickings. But that's my predictions for WrestleMania 41, which will happen on the Deathlock podcast in the future. I don't know why my camera is glitching so badly. So I'm actually probably just going to cut the camera off and just talk here freely with my little gaming avatar, if you guys don't mind. But I feel like that's what's going to happen going forward. John Cena will win the title. He'll run with it. I feel like that, Roman will step to the plate. Roman will be the one to put down John Cena, more than likely, and have to face adversity from his own blood, The Rock. He would have to go against the final boss. The final boss may even make it to where, I don't see it running all the way to WrestleMania next year. But when it comes to that point, we will definitely either at some point probably see that The Rock and Roman go at it, or that The Rock defeats John Cena when it's John Cena's time. He's done, gone. Will be when the final boss, kind of makes it apparent to confront his cousin. And we have the match between The Rock and Roman at a WrestleMania. It could definitely happen. Roman skipping Mania this year, yeah, definitely can see that happening, and it wouldn't be detrimental to Roman at all whatsoever. I don't feel like that it would be that detrimental to Roman for him not being at Mania this year, because it would definitely set up for Roman to kind of have this story feud with his cousin The Rock and the final boss thing and everything like that. What a way for all of it to just kind of go. What a way for it to all go down. But a very, very beautiful way of doing it. It was such a great way. I mean, they really knew how to manipulate the cameras and how to manipulate the ring, making Cody's attention on Travis Scott, thinking that Travis Scott was going to do something, was going to do a favor for The Rock. And I think a lot of people felt that. They felt like maybe if Cody said no, Travis Scott was going to attack him, or maybe Travis Scott was supposed to attack John Cena. This is what took the eye off everybody from looking at John Cena's mannerisms and eventually seeing that change happen. You could almost see that something was going to go down because John Cena's expression, literally, not when he hugged Cody and his face went, full Terminator mode, but when Cody was literally talking about he gave his soul to the ring, and John, he had this urge of excitement, an excitement I haven't seen in John Cena in a long, long time. Like, he's usually high energy, high energetic, but this time around, he was high energetic for a different reason, and I was trying to put my finger on it. And yes, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm no wrestling guru. I don't call everything as it before it happens. So I honestly was just like, oh well, what if John Cena turned bad? And I was like, probably not. I mean, John likes to rub it in people's faces when they don't join up with the authority. And boy, was I wrong. Right? John would not join Triple H and Stephanie's authority. He would not join under Vince McMahon's authority, but he would join with The Rock. This makes it for a very, 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 very interesting storyline. I am just going to be ecstatic for Monday Night Raw to find out what happens. If they decide to just let us start building this WrestleMania storyline, but knowing them, they'll probably hold John Cena off for SmackDown for him to come out. And you know what? I hope that they don't let John explain anything. Give us the cold shoulder. Pull a Chris Jericho, for God's sakes. Remember Chris Jericho came out, he ran to the ring, he got the crowd hyped, he picked up the microphone, he opened his mouth to utter a word, he stopped, he put the mic down, rolled out the ring, ran up the ramp, right? He did that for like a month straight, and finally he broke that he was a heel character and was like, teasing the fans that he had them eating out of the palm of his hands. I don't want John to speak. I don't want John to explain shit. Okay? We get the reason why he's a heel. And let me get to the comments here. Honestly, see Roman Reigns skipping Mania. Yes, sure. Yes. Gene, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it, man. I figured if Cody said no, that someone would turn heel. Yeah. Was either going to be Punk or Cena. They need Cena on Raw for Netflix. Yeah, I would agree with that they would need Cena on Raw for Netflix. But also to kind of just hype it up, right? He could make an appearance on Raw. I just don't want him to say shit. You know what I mean? Kind of like do what they did to the New Day after the New Day, kicked out Big E, and make it seem like he can't get a word in, and then, boom, he's done. Walks out the ring. This is absolutely beautiful. It couldn't have gone down in such a better way. This was lightning in a bottle. I put this on the list with some of the most weirdest heel turns ever, with my top favorite one of all time being the infamous switcheroo, where Austin became face and Brett became heel. That to me will forever go down in history as my favorite and most best heel turn, face turn moments, because that was lightning in a bottle. They perfected it, and it could have gone wrong so many ways, and it just didn't. And so now this kind of goes up there. Like, do I like John Cena as a wrestler? Yes, of course I do. Am I happy that they made this decision, this move? Of course, right? I'm sorry, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, but this overshadows your return to Hollywood Rock heel move when you slapped Cody last year before WrestleMania, and started like walking around with the bloodline and calling Roman your tribal chief and all that other stuff, right? Like I love Heel Rock. Heel Rock is fun. Heel Rock is fun, and you know what? WWE is becoming fun again. WWE is fun. Hulk Hogan's your favorite? Hulk Hogan, the heel turn for Hulk Hogan at WCW was awesome. I'll give it that. And it got the reaction they wanted, right? Fans threw cups and trash everything into the ring. Scott Hall and Kevin Nash trying to block all those things. But at the end of the day, though, Hulk Hogan trying to brand out the NWO, the New World Order of Professional Wrestling, and his rants. Sometimes Hogan just really doesn't know when to just kind of scale it back and shut up, and that was what ruined it for me that night. If he did less talking and allowed Hall and Nash to do more talking, I think that would have been fine. Or no talking at all, really, and just telling the fans to stick it and walking out with the NWO and just starting the NWO. That would have been, to me, would have been a better move. But it is up there as one of the classic heel turns. Cena needed the heel run. Yeah, he does, especially for his final run in the company. Cody is my favorite, but he's nit. It's his last year to be selfish. Yeah, and you know what? I think if you think about the press conference after Royal Rumble, and John Cena, he kind of made that emphasis about being selfish. He kind of talked about like, hey, you know what? I've given everything to the WWE. I've given everything to the fans. I've given everything to the boys in the back. Now it's my turn to just purely think about myself. And I think that was the first clue, like something big was going to come with this character change. Oh, Cody is my favorite, but he's not in a state to do anything now. I'm hoping he's ready for WrestleMania in April. Yeah, he will be. He will be. But, to be quite honest with you, it's time for Cody to drop the belt. Some may agree with me, some may disagree with me. But right now, Cody Rhodes doesn't need a title to enhance him as a performer. He has solidified himself in the pool of champions, right? If they were to like recall all champions to the ring like they did when it was Cena versus Orton, and 2 belts, 1 champion, remember? And they had that chaotic debacle in the ring. Daniel Bryan, he gave the running knee to Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels super kicked CM Punk, and they had that whole melee thing in the ring, right? Like, if they were to recall something like that again, Cody now can be in the ring with every champion from the past. And to me, it wouldn't be such a bad deal breaker if Punk injected himself in a triple threat and won the championship, comes out WWE champion. Does CM Punk really need the belt? No, he really doesn't. But I do know that fans wanted to see him in a WrestleMania main event, and this is how he can get himself in there. And it could revive a rivalry between him and Cena. It could revive a rivalry. Well, not revive, but it can begin a rivalry with him and Cody. But I doubt they would do the Cody and Punk feud. I only see that happening if Punk went heel. But, I know people are going to think that at WrestleMania it's going to be Rollins versus CM Punk, and it very well might be. But Punk still has an ace up his sleeve to get into the main event. So I would think that people would remember that. And Punk could do double duty. He could work night 1 against Rollins and work night 2 main event. We've seen it happen. Cody's done it. Roman's done it. So it's a strong possibility. All this with John Cena changing, like, look, to the Cena fans out there, to the Cena kids that, love John Cena, don't feel bad. Don't cry. It's okay. We needed this to happen. We've always wanted to see what Cena can do in a heel role at a top level. Not in a heel role as a mid-carder, but top level. Now we're going to get that. And I think it's going to be great. Because John is good, right? He's good at cutting promos. I mean, Man, there's YouTube videos where you can watch some of his best microphone skills and how he's cut down people, including the big dog Roman Reigns. That will still be as one of my favorite classic moments where John Cena really showed somebody how to get on the mic and work the mic. So I can only imagine what his heel turn's going to be. But anyways, guys, be subscribed to the Deathlock podcast because B-Tech and I are going to discuss Elimination Chamber. We are going to be discussing events happening this coming week. We're going to be discussing the road to WrestleMania 41. And then eventually we will also do a podcast with B-Tech, who is the main host, myself as a guest host, and our resident heel commentator, Gil Heyman, aka Mill Hustles. We will all three join up and do like a WrestleMania 41 predictions. And it's gonna be, you guys have to be subscribed to that wrestling podcast channel. I'm just saying. So I hope to see you guys there. I leave you guys to the rest of the night to kind of ponder on things, get your thoughts together. And when you guys join the podcast, don't be afraid to share your ideas. There is no such thing as a stupid storyline in our eyes. We're not going to trash you on a podcast just because you have a thought of a storyline and it makes sense to you. I love hearing people's perspectives of what they think is going to happen storyline wise. Don't be ashamed. And if you ever want to come on as a guest with us, to guest host, just hit up B-Tech, let him know. He can put it all together. And we would love to have special guests on the podcast with us. So thank you for watching this quick live on John Cena's heel turn. I appreciate you guys coming through and watching, even though it's my tech channel. But I had fun talking right now. And on that note, Allah.